Така, ами виждаме се, чуваме се, здравейте приятели, с мен днес ще бъде Николай Грязин. Както знаете, аз ви питах някакъв въпроса, но в крайна сметка това, което ще си говорим днес с него е общо взето как мина сезонът за него. Смятам, че ще се получи добър разговор и така ще очакваме интересни моменти, защото определено сезон 2024 беше изключително интересен за него, а и за нас, които го следяхме. Така че, нека да видим какво ще ни каже Николай. Здравей, Николай! Добре дошъл отново при нас и нека направо да действаме към въпросите. So, thank you again, Nikolai, to come here to have you few questions from my side, also from the people like Bulgarian fans. So, thank you again.
Thank you for the invitation.
It's quite lovely to have you back again. So, let's start it right away. This year was a little bit different for you. You have started a new adventure with Citroën and DG Sport. I know that you had a lot of heights, a lot of lows. So before we dive in on the events of this year, could you label the year like with one or two words for you?
Let's say overall it was 50-50 for me because we were quite strong on the tarmac. For sure the tarmac seems to be fit for me quite well. Somehow I feel it better. And especially with the Citroën, it's a really strong car for the tarmac, so we were really strong on the all tarmac events. Only in the Monte Carlo was a little bit struggle on the Sunday, but now with the all experience which I got from the season, I can understand why I was struggle on the Sunday. So for sure, I will say I lose the race on Sunday because just no.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I will dive in like race to race.
Okay.
So let's start with Monte Carlo, of course. Before Monte Carlo, you have made one start in France to test the C3 Rally 2. How was the preparation, overall preparation for Monte Carlo before with the new car? How was the preparation?
Yeah, when we decided to go with Citroen, for sure we need to do at least one race before Monte Carlo. So the Rally di Value was the perfect preparation as we used before, and it's almost the same stages in the same area. Sometimes the same stages, just opposite direction from the WRC race. And all the time on this race, you can try different tires because you have stages on different heights. So we used this race for preparation. It feels really, really nice. We won. And after we go with the quite good mood on the Monte Carlo. And Monte Carlo was feeling also good until the Sunday.
Yeah, actually you start quite well the Monte Carlo rally. Also you didn't start the rally like a leader in WRC3, but however in Friday morning passes you managed to overtake Pepe Lopez and took the lead. The question that I want to ask you here is, in the first Friday stage you say that you opted for different choice of tires compared to Pepe and Joan. How exactly did you manage to evaluate the tire choices in Monte Carlo? Like, is like gambling, or is just like learning, knowing specific things on the rally itself?
I think that nowadays with our weather, it's not gambling anymore. We don't know how it will be next year, but all these last years was quite easy to decide with the tires. The only moment that you have two options, to go aggressive mode or to go a little bit safe mode. So this is something which you need to consider, and this is, I'll say, all the time I trying to play different strategy. And for sure with the Monte Carlo, if you want to win it, sometimes you need to take a risk, but sometimes you need to also know that if the car is new for you, if you go full aggressive mode, sometimes it will be more tricky because you can lose the confidence, and you need to be also smart in this.
Yes, of course. So the Saturday action in WRC2 was even better. It was more interesting than the WRC itself. So with the Rally 1 cars, did you expect Pepe Lopez to be so fast in Monte Carlo?
No, I would expect. I know he's the fast driver on the tarmac, but I was quite sure that with the Citroen we will be dominating, and only Pepe was from the Skoda who was fighting with us. And I would say, okay, in the beginning we were surprised, but after we just take it as the fact and were trying to fight with him. So, I mean, he did a good job, so he prepared well. This is the consequences why he was fast.
Yeah. Also, Sunday action was also epic. Like we were always watching the WRC2. Pepe was again in front of you by 3.7 seconds, and Johan also found some pace that nobody had expected in Sunday. So what do you think was the reason that you dropped from first to third in the last few kilometers?
Yeah, I cannot say exactly the reason because just the questions from of the contract, but for sure there was the big difference in settings between me and Johan. For Lopez I will not say anything because I don't know what exactly he was using, so this is different car and etc. But to compare with the Johan, we were completely different philosophy of the setup, and now I can say I understand why he was using different settings. And just doing the second rally on the Citroen, I was not really know that what the car is really possible to do with the different settings for the different surface and conditions. Just in Sunday we have only one stage which was a little bit places icy, but mostly the stages was like full dry, like for Corsica race with the plus 20 degrees with the soft tires, and you have to adjust the car a lot. And to be honest, we just didn't know what, I mean, me and my engineer, we didn't know really what to adjust to have the proper car for this kind of stages. So it was our mistake for the Sunday, but after when we get the experience on the car, it starts to be better in Croatia and other tarmac rallies.
Oh, very interesting answer. So let's go hopping to Sweden. You didn't nominate the rally for WRC2 championship. Why did you do that?
Yeah, just to get the experience from the snow races, as we always trying to do, because one day we will need to go there with another car or with maybe WRC1 in the future, and you cannot avoid this race. So it's something which you need to nominate, and also I have the experience from the past, from the snow races and etc. So I like to drive in the snow. Just I didn't want to nominate because the car was not drive for snow for many years. And it was quite clear that it was not, I mean, it was clear that might be not performance car for this kind of surface. So for sure, we wanted to try to also do some job for development and to find what we can do with the car on the snow surface. So unfortunately, it didn't work well as we tried different options. Just the result on the Sweden was quite poor. But okay, I from my side, I did everything.
That is interesting to know. Also, the next race of the calendar was Safari. You didn't go there. Presume that you didn't do it because of the costs, maybe, or that was the reason to miss Safari.
I don't know. It's mostly because of the cost. But to be honest, I don't know. It's somehow we didn't decide to go it in the past, and now to go there. I would like to go, but I mean, this is the kind of race where you need to survive. And as a driver, this kind of race like Safari, I do privately. I mean, for my family money and my sponsors' money. So I'd like to spend the money when I can show the pace, I can learn something. But there, the kind of race when you also need to learn how to survive, how to drive in races when you don't need to push all the time. And I mean, for this big money, we decided that we can do some good preparation for next rallies, not to do the Safari. But for sure, I want to try Safari because the footage which I see from this country and from the stages, it's quite interesting. It's quite tricky when it's wet, so I think it's quite demanding rally. Just it's different. It's not classic rally, I will say. It's something which you need to learn differently.
So it's like a rally that you have big risks and maybe big rewards, or maybe nothing.
Exactly, yeah. And also, it's from one side, it's good for the points because not so many drivers come there. But from the other hand, you never know what you can find on the road. So it's also, this is kind of gambling, I would say.
Yeah, this is the most gambling race event of the year, definitely. So let's hop into Croatia. After Sweden, you have started in Rally Karlovac to prepare for Croatia. How important it was to compete in another similar to WRC event? What can you get from such event like before Rally Croatia?
Well, the Karlovac was quite clear. It's this event which goes on the same stages. So there's nothing special that we want to check some like additional things. We just wanted to, for sure, clarify the setup for the main event, to find some negatives they have, to solve it before the race, because the test and race every time is different feeling. And but mostly, like, the first of all, why we decided to go Karlovac, and also we did it in the past, it's the same stages. This time they are changing the direction, but it's the same stages. In the past was just absolutely the same stages, so it was kind of cheating, but for our class it's not forbidden, so we can use this kind of race where you have the same stages. So it was not illegal, it's official race which you can drive, and we say, okay, if it's the whole in the rules, so why not to use the race which you have the same stages of the WRC?
Yes, in the past here in Bulgaria we had also some kind of thing, for example, one rally using some of the stages from another rally, so this is quite typical even in Eastern Europe because of the costs of the events, etc. So for me the event was one of your highlights of the year. You have dominated from the start, you didn't give any chance even to Johan. How is that you have found such great speed with the Citroën on the tarmac?
To be honest, it's just easy to drive the car on the tarmac until you lose the grip. So if you're not trying to over push the car, it works really nice. And only just to clarify that we have the big problems in Saturday when it starts to be rain in some stages, and I have we had the tires to use for this kind of surface because it was not clear, so we take additional tires in the boot for the slippery conditions. But in last month we saw that it should be okay, and in 2 stages I was not right with our forecasts, and we go with different tire choices with the Yuan on the stage. Like on the car and the boot we have the same tires, but we just go differently with him, and I just drop a lot to him. So I was a little bit lucky that he had after the penalty, so he was not close enough for me on the Sunday. So on the Sunday I have like less nervous, so I have just to finish the race and not to make any mistake. But Saturday in the afternoon was quite nervous because we just started to lose the time because of the tire choice, and I knew that it would be the problem only for 2 stages, and the last 2 stages was full dry, so I was sure that last 2 stages I will attack just to gain the back some time. And as I said, I was lucky that you won't get the penalty. So for the Sunday, we still had a big gap. So just the idea was to finish the race without any mistakes.
You even managed to beat some Rally 1 drivers. So what it was like quite exceptional to see you flying, because I saw you have few clips, few videos that you are flying actually in one jump. What was quite fast and extreme. Actually, Rally Croatia is the closest to Bulgaria, so I know that you had some meetings with Bulgarian fans. What do you think of the Bulgarian fans? Do you feel that they give you their support?
For sure. I mean, it's not only Croatia, it's every race where I drove. I each time see some Bulgarian fans. Even in Sweden, in full of snow, I saw them. And no, it's a big feeling when you have someone who are coming especially for you to support, and they are waiting for you in the service, and it feels a little bit easier. I mean, you are not alone on the competition, so it's all for sure. Also, it gives some more nervous because people want you to achieve. But the guys who are coming from the Bulgaria, I feel more like friendly. They're not coming to push me like, hey, you need to win. They come, like, hello, Nikolai, just to have fun, make some photos and just to speak. You feel like more your people. So I don't feel any like not responsibility. I'll say they're not making any pushing on me. So it's just feeling, like friends come to visit, to support, and overall it feels nice, especially when you see the flags on the stages. Just some motivation to go sideways more.
Definitely. I know some fans that they are very proud, that a lot of fans in Bulgaria are very proud that we see a Bulgarian flag on the stages. Also a lot of events they're mentioning Bulgaria. So be sure that the Bulgarian rally community is supporting you. We all hope to see you again next year, to be faster, to be bigger, to grow big. You know that we have also a Facebook group special for you, Bulgarians. So
yeah, thank you.
A lot of people are talking about you and following you. Also, my media is writing about you on every event on the WRC, so we are always watching you and support you. The Bulgaria's fans are very hearted fans, so they love their drivers. They don't have hatred in them, as you see. So for all of us, it's fun. I hope that I see you maybe one day driving in Bulgaria to see the full the full package of very fun Bulgarian fans.
Thank you, I really appreciate it, and we also wanted to drive the Bulgarian race this season, but finally I didn't get the calendar, and
yeah, currently we have issues on that side, so it's not
I know, yeah.
It's
let's
not
hope for next year.
Yes, we very hope that next year we have events already, because this year we didn't have any automotive sport, so we hope. Let's go to Rally Portugal. You didn't nominate also Rally Portugal, but you won it. So that is quite controversial. You think that you have missed a very big opportunity in Portugal because actually you're fast on that kind of gravel events.
To be honest, I would not agree with the performance on the Portugal because compared with, I mean, I will say it from the all gravel events, I was not fast compared with the Skodas and also compared with my teammate on the slow gravel roads. So in Portugal it was just the good luck from for us because everyone has some mistakes and a lot of people just stuck or retired even when they don't need to do any mistakes. So I just was doing my race and finally I was the P1 and for sure we were happy because okay, it's nice to be first, but I don't like to be first because of the other problems of the other drivers. So I mean, okay, I can show to the statistics that we won, but to be honest, the performance side was not good. I was not feeling good in the car, and I was not able to do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Just even the few stages I felt nice, but overall, as much I tried to work with the setup, I tried to push some stages, never get any positives from the time. So it's I think that also was the issue that I don't have any experience on this car.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it for first time, it's something which you need to learn from the car to understand how it works, and for sure not enough testing and etc. for me for this gravel events. So it starts to be better and better with each rounds afterwards, but still not enough. It's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So maybe in Sardinia it's almost the same case. On your stage interviews you sounded like you're missing speed, but for me personally it's like what is missing the speed is the car, not you. So did the rally go sideways on first parts of Mortal Lerno, or was also like something that you mentioned for about Rally Portugal?
Oh, in Sardinia was sometimes like longest stage we were doing quite okay. Even from the speeds, just we had the puncture there, and until the puncture we were even faster than other RC2 drivers, and just after we have the problem with the drive shaft on the second pass of Montelerne, I think. So this was big. Like I know why it happens. It's something which not common, but it's something which you need to learn from with the new car that it might happen. But I just never know that it might be like this. So it happens twice for me during the season on the grease also, not on the grease. Yes, on the grease. So if not the drive shaft, okay, maybe the result will be better, but still it was some. We were a little bit faster, but still was not easy to get each even our teammate, because still when you have the same guy on the same car, you're trying to fight with him, and with the Yuan on the gravel it's really difficult because he has massive experience, like 5 or 6 years on this car, and he just from this kind of roads when you have slow corners on the gravel. So for sure it's a big opportunity to fight with this kind of fast driver on his roads, I would say. But we were trying, yeah, not goes like we wanted. That's why I was for sure not happy with the season, with the gravel itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's maybe also the case for Poland and Latvia. You finished sixth in the RC3 and 5th in RC2, and 6th in Poland and 5th in Latvia. I was surprised actually. You give such a result because we know that you're quite fast on fast gravels. What was missing to be in top 3, for example, in Poland?
For me, it's the car. I don't know, because this is something which especially in Finland, the same. If we will take all these events for the fast gravel,
yes.
In Finland we were much faster than in Poland. But I think there was a big difference from the setup wise, but still from my side I was trying to push as I can, and especially in Poland we were really on a high push, but something is not working. It needs to be done like proper development to find a way. I cannot say what is exactly is working, but just something not for this car. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to judge the car to say something like not good or good things, but this is just the fact that we faced, and we were aware. We just wanted to collect the points in Poland, because in Poland in the last years I every time was having the good pace, and now even I felt that we are in a good pace. Just the time wise, each time on the finish we faced quite shit. So I was really upset on the Poland, and was also questioned to do Estonia or Latvia, but we decided just to do it because it's kind of home event. So I wanted just to get the experience, because in future it's races which will stay in the WRC, so we just need to refresh the memory from the past how to drive this kind of races. But for me it was not an issue to remember this kind of driving style for this fast gravel. So yeah, in Poland especially was quite disappointed. Okay, we were not fast enough. I was expecting better pace, but also when before the last stage we were P3, so still was good stuff to get some points which will cost finally in the end of the season the place. And we just get a small puncture, so we just lost 3 places in the last stage because of this. It was my mistake. I just little bit clipped the dirt bank, and it was enough to make the tire out of the rim. And this was just really disappointed moment, because okay, if I will not nominate it in the points, I will still disappointed with the overall event. But now just going like making the flashbacks during the season, this race, if not the mistake, not this issue, we will have P3, and we will have some points which finally will cost.
Yes, I was thinking about to ask you about the costs of the race, like the points. I was thinking that you missed the title on Chile, but you actually told me that you missed it like in the fast gravels. So as I understand, basically, is the rumors are true about the Citroën that is lacking of development on the fast gravels. So we can agree on that.
Yeah, I will say you can rely on the fact of the results. I don't, because for me the Yuan and me is not the slow drivers to not perform on the fast gravel at all. So the last time who was fast on the fast gravel was maybe Mess Osberg, but I think it was now the cars are stepped up a lot compared with this year, so difficult to compare. But I think you can judge from the results. It's quite clear.
Yes. So Acropolis, at the beginning of the event you were in the top 3, but on the first pass of the famous Tarzan stage, all went down. What happened there? We know that the ride is quite rough and demanding, but could you explain a little bit how was Acropolis for you?
Don't remember exactly. It was still not good feeling from my side. Sometimes it was good, sometimes with the speeds we were slow, but not clear exactly where. We were all the time, working with the engineers to find what I'm missing, because there was not the difference in the setup wise and etc. compared with Yuan. Just trying to teach me how to drive this kind of car. I don't know, I just was not able to feel the car maybe, but overall we had the big mistake in one stage. We just hit the rock, so we spin around, so we lost maybe like 15 seconds, and after in Saturday we just got the drive shaft issue again, the same like in Sardinia. Not the same, but still, I mean, it's broke, but different way, so it was quite strange. And yeah, just the Sunday was more nice, because Sunday we were doing the second stage fast, and after third one was okay. I don't remember exactly, but I remember the last stage, in power stage, it was disaster. I mean, we were still pushing the stage, but it was just like proper Acropolis. When you know that you drive not on the road, on the stones, there was no road, and I was not driving on the line because it was impossible to drive, and still we get the puncture. Like, even I was not driving fast. I mean, in the beginning, yes, but after, when I saw the road in the middle, we decided to go a little bit slower. The car, after one stage, when the guys check the car in the service in the workshop, they say it's like everything broke. Like all arms, everything was bended. Wow. Because I mean, you are not pushing on the brakes, you are not going sideways, just you drive on the stones. And this time I will say the Pirelli did a great job because you broke the car but not the tires.
Yes, Acropolis is famous for car wrecking. So
Especially this stage was the disaster. I never saw something like this in the past.
yes, so like Acropolis maybe it's quite difficult to choose the tires, maybe, or it's quite easy.
It was quite okay.
Easy. So then, also Acropolis is also close to Bulgaria. Do you meet also Bulgarian fans there?
A lot. And I think the Acropolis was the same amount like in Croatia.
Yes. Actually, Bulgarians fans, the hardcore fans, they love to go to Acropolis because even to watch there is you have to be very hardcore fan. Showing stones to your face, not easy job.
It's a plus 35 degrees. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know a few photographers Bulgarian that had go to there. They like it a lot, but they didn't wanted to do it back again. So yeah, Acropolis is quite fun experience, definitely. So you did go to Chile. You're leading on WRC2, but on Sunday you lost the first position from Johan. Then again, you have reported rear axle was quite loose. Maybe was the car, or maybe they think that there was quite big fog on Chile that year. What you think that was the reason to lose to Johan there?
I will say the Friday stages was more fit for my driving style. It's more like for the big balls and you need to drive on the fast section in a narrow road, so I like this kind of stuff. But Saturday, Sunday is completely different race with more wide road and more slippery, and each time when it was pollution I was not really able to get the car on the line. I don't know why, even I was trying to go slower, but still was something missing there. But it's the same like Sardinia in Portugal, I would say. So we were starts to lose in the Saturday and Sunday, but only the problem for the Sunday was that we start to use the tires from the shakedown, and on the shakedown I used this 2 runs. And to be I was not like telling too much about it, but in reality that after when I make the analysis, the problem is on the shakedown I made 2 runs, so we used the tires from the Sunday, and it was like proper rain, so we have full wet stages, but still underground was a little bit abrasive. So even with the 2 runs of the shakedown, which was quite long, it was 14 kilometers overall with 2 runs, the rear tires, that was much faster than I expected. So on the second pass of the first stage on Sunday, I was doing good, like better than the first pass, and we lose like a lot of time to gas greensmith, like massively time. And I was surprised, like what the hell is possible, because I was doing good and somehow we started to lose 1 second per kilometer. And after I saw the rear tires, they were done just on the wet. And everyone has the same situation, but this extra 14 kilometers from the shakedown just make it worse. And this moment where this, just extra 14 kilometers was cost this. Like everyone says in the rally, there's small things are never you cannot avoid them. All the small things are finally counting. So we made the second run on the shakedown just to confirm some settings and etc., but we sacrificed the tires. So it was the biggest mistake, I think, from maybe I would say from my side also. And we just not carried the tires. But overall, this rally is something about also to get not to carry the tires, because everyone who was fast there, it's everyone who are doing more gently driving, so they don't kill the tires faster. Me is the opposite. Somehow my aggressive driving style seems like eating the tires faster, so it also might be the cause. But in Sunday everyone was having trouble with the rear tires, so I was not able really to Sunday to. I knew that I need to try, but I was not able to do nothing, because when you have no tires, it's disaster. So it was clear that first place not reachable. I just need to defend the second place. And in the last stage I was full attack, and I was lucky that Gus Greensmith just have the half spin, so he just lose the fight, and I just tried my best, but I mean, when I saw their tires, they still have the good tires from on the boot. So I was 2.0 wear tire on the car and another tire maybe 20%. So in one corners I was understeer like hell, in other corners I was oversteer like hell. So, but somehow we survived because it was quite on the limit. Yeah, and finally P2. So we were, I would say, still happy that we managed to finish without big problem. Only on a Friday I have this small off, but I survived and managed to keep the car on the road. Yeah, and overall I would say I was expect still that the clerk of course will change the decision of the Yuan on this situation with the fog, because I saw all the photos, videos, this evidence I saw, and for me it was clear that he don't catch I mean, there was not right decision from the getting. I don't want to give also the opportunity for Oliver, that because he's also my competitor. It's the same, but it's the same Yuan. I think it was not right. I just don't want to say nothing about it because he's my teammate. So I will never go like against my teammate. But for me, it was not correct the decision.
So you actually have forwarded my next question, so you know always what I will ask you. So thank you for that clarification. That was very interesting case, because we don't see quite often such decisions about on the clerk of the cars, also on drivers and etc. on WRC, because we are always used to the drivers going to doing their job and they're driving on what they get. So this is quite different approach that we didn't. So nobody was expecting to have that, so they allowed it, so we can do nothing actually. So Chile like event, which European rally is close? Because you told me that the tire management is quite a very, very big job there.
I would say the Friday in the European rally, I cannot say it's something close even, because the Friday is like Finland, but Finland like New Zealand or maybe Australia. So it's a fast road with the jumps, but you have this dirt banks, like you're driving in tunnel. Maybe Azores, but Azores are completely different, not fast enough. And the Friday or Saturday, Sunday on the Chile, it's also difficult to say. Maybe some places like Greece, but more abrasive road. But sometimes too wide. I don't know where we have the same, but maybe some places like Greece, but not like all Greece, because all the Greece it's all still like medium narrow, and Chile it's like sometimes really wide.
It's interesting. It's very interesting rally, and definitely it's quite interesting culture to go there. Let's hop to another highlight of you, Rally Central Europe. There you certified yourself as the fastest WRC2 driver on tarmac. What can you tell me about that rally? Conceptually, that rally is quite complicated to organize. So also I'll be very thankful to tell me what you think about the organization of such different event.
For me, the organization side was quite good. It's for sure difficult for everyone, especially for drivers. Also difficult because we have to do the recce and drive between the recce on the different countries. So we just spent from the morning until the evening on the steering wheel. But I mean, if you did it once and second time, it's more easier. So it's quite interesting. It's from logistic sides only difficulty, but as a driver we don't care. We drive from one side to another side. If you are not crash and not waiting for the rescue, then it's not a problem. But if you drive, you just have the road book, and yeah, you just these road sections which you used to have going back to the service, which are in the same area, but okay, you go on a different service. Just having no service park and not service at Friday is quite complicated sometimes, because if you have some issue you want to repair, but you cannot. So but still it's interesting event because you have also different surfaces and different tarmac. physically, like what inside the tarmac is different from the Czech Republic.
Is the tarmac driver heaven? you have all the styles, all the different surfaces.
I would say not all the type, because there's not like French twisty roads. It's more like the Czech Republic, typical Czech Republic, like crazy, bumpy and fast, and for the brave, and who really not afraid to go sideways on this kind of tarmac, and who knows because the pace notes on this kind of stage is like super important. And for me, but the Austria with Germany, for me, when it's dry, it's super nice. It's quite simple road, so everyone can do fast times, but it's just enjoyable because you do some nice corners, and after you have 300 meters just to breathe, to think, to relax. In some twisty stages like Japan, for example, you never had the time to relax. It's never time. You never have the 200 meters.
So you have now going to Japan. So Japan, I was very surprised and impressed also that you have started with the delivery of Takumi Fujiwara of Initial D. How did come with that idea, and what was the reaction of Japanese fans?
It was the idea even from the start when I just go on to Japan, because last year we were not able to do it, but this year we just prepared in advance, so we clear it with the Citroën, the permission to do this livery, and also with the Mr. Shigeno to use the livery, because it will be just not polite if we use the livery of the car without knowing the Shigeno about it. So we
actually meet him?
Finally not. We were asking invite him on the shakedown to do the run with me, but finally not happens. But we were in contact with him, so I really impressed of his job of his manga and anime. So I wanted to do it not because of him, just because I really like the projects which he's doing. So, and finally when the permission was done, we say, okay, let's do this livery, and everyone was agreed. So it was the big opportunity also, I mean, for me, and also I was happy that a lot of fans and Japanese people were happy to see this kind of car, and finally it was looking also sexy, and I cannot say that it was the bad decision at all. It's just something which I like when you have minimalistic, and finally it's still looking really like brutal.
Yes, it was quite interesting. When we have seen the pictures, we actually the first questions was, for example, did the headlights was yellow or not? And after that, after we saw photos and videos that the headlights even yellow, so we was quite impressed about the details that you have made.
It was yellow. We wanted to keep, but after FIA asked to remove, because from the regulations you cannot have the yellow. So we removed it, but for all photo sessions we had it.
So FIA.
No, just I mean it's clear. There's the rules. We never break the rules.
Yes, of course.
Nothing bad to him.
Of course. On there. You actually was flying a lot on Rally Japan. On the racing side, Simon Payari finished second, beat you with only 6 points on the WRC2 challenge. No, it was not challenge.
He beat me in the Challenger and also in the WRC2.
Yes. How the rally evolved for you from the beginning to the end? You are fast. It's different there, but it's like the Japanese cars. They're having a lot of more spirit there.
I mean, I will say the rally itself went nice because I knew that Citroën will be really fast on this kind of stages, so I was really waiting for this kind of race, especially with Citroën, and the rally we just wanted to win. There was only one solution: we need to win, and we will see what happens with Payari, because if there's something which will, I don't know, technical or other issues happens, we will able to be on second in WRC2. So we wanted just to have maybe the gambling, but for sure I just like to drive. First of all, it was the idea that okay, if it happens it's good, if not happens anyway, I come there to drive, I come there to win, So the just was extra motivation that I have to win, because otherwise there's no option. So we just was doing the good pace, but after when the Poyari had the issue with the tire, so the fight overall was quite it was off. So he also was not pushing, and I was not pushing also, and still was enough to drive fast and win the stages even without the extra push. And it was nice. It was everything is under control. Just the first 2 stages when we were start to fight with the Sami was quite tricky, because I also was an aggressive tire choice and I was a mistake. So I had the few moments in the beginning, but finally the car is strong even from the small hits, so it was under control. So even the last power stage we decided to go just for fun, to have the nice finish, and still we won the last stage. So it was really a nice feeling that on this car, on this surface, we can dominate like this. And but overall the situation on the rally was not easy, because still we have no rain, but in the Thursday or Wednesday was small rain in the mountains. And the problem is, in the mountains you drive in the pure forest, which you will never see in the Europe, which are not taking any sunshine at all. So to make the tarmac dry without, especially there's no wind coming through this density of the forest, so you need like maybe 3 days to make it full dry. So it was still a lot of places where we were driving, it was full wet or like properly damp. And the second problem, that as there's no wind, no sunshine, a lot of lakes around it, like rivers, you have this mousse on the ground, the green one, and this feels like proper fat
ice
on the road. Yes, and even when it's dry it's better, but when it's just damp it feels like it's ice. And this was the very, very tricky moment that you have to consider, and also the gravel crew should know this. You cannot ride every places, but you need to take care in dangerous places where you can miss a lot. So that's why I also made the mistake on the Friday, which was not cost anything, but might cost. But finally it was everything under control.
Yes, it's quite, we have also been impressed on your pace on there. Sami, I want to ask you something about Sami. Did you consider him as a title challenger at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, because the last year we drove in one team, it was quite clear that he is talented, and the question of the title is the question of the time. So he has everything to get it. Just we wanted, to fight anyway. Every time we wanted to be the owners of the title and not the others. But we know that he will be fast. We know that Oliver will be fast. We know that Yuan will be fast. WRC is now even WRC2. It's more challenging, I think, or maybe the same challenging like in the WRC1. So we have no clue that it will be not easy at all. But there's no option to not to fight, so we have to fight, and it's something which we like to do.
So this is also a thing that I want to ask you, because last year we have spoken with you regarding on event organization, promoting. So you have done this year also ERC and WRC, but first I want to ask you on the competition side, which championship you think that is more competitive?
I still think the WRC. I would say last year maybe I was saying that ERC is not competitive enough, but now I will say the ERC it's quite competitive. It's not the same like WRC. It's still easier because of the mileage. It's less mileage, but nowadays I would say when I was doing Estonia ERC, Estonia I know well, but I would say in Estonia we were third, but only WRC drivers was on the front, which are doing with me the WRC events. So if we not take them in account, we were first from ERC drivers. There's also Padden who is fast, but it's difficult to judge the guys from the cars, because it's quite clear that some cars are good for this kind of fast gravel, some cars are not. But I will say with our pace in Estonia, if it will be WRC, I will be not third for sure. It will be more fast drivers I don't want to say that I'm not a fast driver. I just want to say that situation which was in Estonia, we will be not on the third in WRC event, because the WRC event you just have much more fast drivers. So I would say that now in ERC, if you are able to win the rallies in ERC, you can step up on WRC quite easily, because there's the same top level guys in ERC, maybe like the same top level in WRC, but in WRC just there's more top level drivers overall. But the pace itself in the final, it's I think the same now.
Okay, thank you. On the cover side, last year we have spoken with you that WRC2 is not like quite very good. How is it? It's not quite good
Promoting.
Yes, it's not was promoted quite well, but I think this year the live stages definitely have had a lot more time focused on the WRC2 event, WRC2 cruise. So what do you change your mind on that, or you still thinking that it's a little bit too needed more to WRC2 to be famous?
Difficult to say. I mean, it depends. If you are in the top 3, okay, it's more time live, but still, for sure, WRC cars are still the main persons in the championship. So, like I said, maybe it's getting better, but to be honest, I don't see the big difference. Maybe, but I'm not the person who can judge properly, because I'm not watching the race outside from the. But maybe it comes for sure. I will say, from my side, I will say that some fun quotes which after the people are sharing in Instagrams are making much more effect. So if I do this fun like crazy jump, or I do this fun quote, and after somebody posts it and it's reposting everywhere, it's more and more effect than what we get from the live coverage. But I mean, I don't know, because maybe the live coverage I don't collect the people who are watching the TV, so maybe there's much more amount. So I don't want to be, the person who you can rely on the comment. So it's just my opinion, which I can say from views on and activity in Instagram, for example.
Yes, as a viewer from my side, I think that we are getting you, we're seeing you always. So for the Bulgarians are important to see you. So we're always seeing your stages, your times and your efforts. Also in Bulgaria we have one television that is showing WRC events. Not all stages are live, of course, but the few that are for TV purpose events, like the last stage, etc. So we're seeing a lot of you, and we are quite happy that we see the Bulgarian flag there. That is definitely for us quite a thing, because we didn't have in the history back the opportunity to have a driver in such high level on the WRC. Now in Bulgaria currently we have one potential driver that is quite fast for Formula 1. So this year actually on local racing event we didn't have local racing events, so we didn't have racing, we didn't have rallies, but actually all the Bulgarians were watching you, and also the other guy which is driving Formula 3, Nikolai Grязin. So we're for local sites. The racing community was dumped that we don't have races, but on international side, Bulgarian was quite visible thanks to you and also for him. So we hope that one day we see you driving Rally 1, him to drive F1 car. So we have cross fingers for you, for him. Let's go to a little bit of fun questions.
Okay.
So I have few questions. For example, one is from Ruben Emanuilov. Congratulations on the strong end of the season and the victory of the Rally Center Europe. And he sends you emoji like the flex one. My question is, what do you miss for more consistent performance in this season with Citroën? if as the team performance was, or was the both extremes? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you first of all for comment. Yeah, I will say mainly the consistent only on the gravel, because on the tarmac, only in the Monte Carlo was the lack of the experience, like I said, but mainly on the gravel, I don't know, it's just I was doing every time the same, just trying to be consistent, but it's just not working out. I don't think there's no question to the team was doing the good job. I think maybe just the philosophy of the car was not working with my driving style. Even I was trying to change the driving style, but was still not working. So maybe there's something like was the cause. I cannot say like more. I didn't find the excuses, or maybe I'm just not fast enough on the gravel. But let's see how it goes on the next year.
Okay, thank you. So next question is from Yancho Ginchev. I know that Nikolai is fan of animated films. Who is his favorite animated characters? And he sent us a picture of your helmet.
Yeah, but for sure, Takumi Fujiwara is one of the best. But if we take like in the past, also Shaman King, if you know, it's nice.
Mm-hmm. So actually, Takumi Fujiwara I know about the series, but actually I rediscovered like this year. So I have watched to stage 3. After that I could not find another stages, so I try to look it, because it's quite interesting to see persons that they know how cars are going, and to make it fun is quite nice. So let's go to Veselin Vasilev. Actually, this question was, you told us that if you have the opportunity to drive in Bulgaria, you will do it.
Yes, for sure.
So give me a second. Ivan NF, if you drive on the Bulgarian Championship, will you drive me around a little bit?
Yeah, you need to contact with my manager about it. But for sure, yeah, if somebody like coming to the test, normally if the person asks to have the ride with me, I normally don't say no. Depends if like 20 people wants to drive, then it's the question. But if one person wants to drive, why not?
Yes, let's see another question. Stoyan Milev is asking, will you drive again with Bulgarian license on Bulgarian nationality in 2025?
Yeah.
So thank you, Nikolai. I want to ask you one last question. I know that it's not allowed to ask you for the next year, but can you answer me just one question? We will see you on Monte Carlo next year.
Yeah, Monte Carlo is.
Okay, that was my very interesting question. When you have more information, definitely I will be pleased to have shared information with us.
Okay, I think we will announce it anyway. Just now have some difficulties, so not clear for the moment.
So thank you. I will stop the recording now. Thank you for sharing with our guys. Николай беше така добър да сподели с нас какво ще през сезона. Надявам се да е било интересно и за вас. Така че ще говорим отново с него, бъдете сигурни. Благодаря ви.